Jan and I have both held callings within the church. I was recently released as Young Men's President and have spent most of my time in the Young Men's Program or in the Elders Quorum Presidency.
And I do the activity days with the young girls that are from 8 years old till 12 years old. Casey was always on time when we had a curfew for him, and he was always even 5 minutes early, walk through that door. And this one evening he was just a little bit late, maybe 10 minutes. And I looked at Mike and we knew something was wrong, and he wanted to talk to us and tell us.
So he told us that he was gay and attracted to men. And he said, now that you know that, you'll want me to pack my stuff and leave.
Because of my growing up LDS, I didn't know what to expect. You know, the next thing that they said was, you know, you're not going anywhere. We love you and we want you to be happy. And I think that at that moment I knew that it wasn't going to be easy, but I knew that I would have a place to stay and I wouldn't be one of those kids that has to find somewhere to live once they tell their parents.
And he broke down and cried, and we hugged, and it was a moment I will never forget, because his anticipation was that as soon as his parents knew who he really was, that he would no longer be allowed in our home.
And he was very ashamed. The whole time he had the pillow in front of him, and I just thought, oh, that's got to be the hardest thing he'll probably ever do. We chose to just put our arms around him and tell him, no, we want you to be under our wing. There's no way we want you gone.
When Casey first confided in us at 17 years old, we had a bishop who was a very dear friend and someone who loved our family dearly and also loved Casey. And the bishop said to us, my advice to you is to keep him close to you where you can influence him and make sure that he knows he's loved.
I had a friend that I went to high school with, very similar family to ours. His mom and my mom were friends, very active in the LDS church, but he came out to his parents, and it actually was the exact opposite of what happened when I came out to mine.
We know of a person that tried to force change and sent their child away and spent lots of money to try to change this person's sexual orientation, and when they come out of them, most of the time it doesn't work, and then they feel even more like a failure. And this one child that I knew tragically took his life. Very, very sad. I feel so bad that they feel so broken. But there's certain steps that you need to take with your children, and I don't think trying to change them is one of them.
Two of Casey's friends from high school within 1 year of his age group have chosen to take their lives because of the way their family in particular handled the situation.
We kind of have a Christian obligation to love our fellow man and to kind of try to understand them. And first and foremost, we need to feel that way about our own children and try to love them and understand them and where they're coming from.
The first parade they went to, there were, I think, 30,000 people lined up. And at that time, there was no Mormon presence in the parade at all. It was, you know, just regular floats and such. My mom made a sign that said, I can be Mormon and still love my gay son. And people just were crying, running out of the spectators, hugging her, saying thank you.
As we walked down the parade route with Casey hand in hand with us, and our other children with us as well, we would look off into the crowd, and much of the crowd was crying as they would see us coming. And I know that some of them were crying out of emotions of happiness, but I know some of them were crying out of sadness, knowing that their own families had not treated them in the same fashion. And it broke my heart to see those that I know their families had disowned them.
They would hold Mike and I together, and they would take pictures on their phones, and I've got to send this to my mom, and it was just so very, very touching.
My parents really believe that you don't have to choose. I can still love my gay son, and I can still be a very active member in the church, because they understand it comes from love.
A loving Heavenly Father will take care of our son. When all is said and done, it's how you treat people and how kind you are, and I think He's going to take care of him.
When my parents told me, I was kind of confused because I didn't know what to think for a while, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, I love my brother no matter what, and there's nothing that could change that.
It wasn't like a big deal to us at all because they've always taught us not to be judgmental, or like we've just grown up with almost an understanding just to not judge others. And so there's a few openly gay kids at my high school. No one teases them because they know me and my friends will give them an argument. If people know that you're okay with this and like they know you understand and stuff, they'll come to you. Like they need people to come to feel
They need a
safe,
safe
and
place.
so I'm here to love, support, and be a friend to those of the LGBT kids at my school and my community. Just be a friend to them and love them, and I'll walk with them no matter what.
We're the Nichols family, and we will walk with you.